What up? Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name's Alckemy. We are going to hop into some dubstep production. I guess that's what you would call it. I don't really even know. But before we do that, we have a few quick play spells to get through. And then we're just going to hop right into the project that I started on Saturday, I think. So first up, we have Michael. Let's go ahead and play that out. And by the way, if you want to submit a quick play spell, it's a 15-second daily submission thing that you don't have to do it every day, but it's just a cool thing to hold you accountable, and it's a cool way for me to showcase your work on my channel. So get in there, hop in the quick play spells, 15 seconds or less. I don't want any more. A hard rule, 15 seconds or less. But yeah. Yeah, okay. I would say put some decay on the bass and try to pull away from, like, right before the next hit happens, cut the bass off. Like, don't connect the whole thing to the next. And if you do that, that'll help open up those pockets that we were talking about. Nice. Let's go. This is cool. I like it. Good stuff. This is what you're looking for. This is what you're looking for right here. That's the start of a halftime track right there. Michael, that one. Study this track of what you did and look at the relationship of how the groove works. And this will like study the fuck out of your own project, because this will give you so much in figuring out the more this is like the more boom bappy side of halftime, but it's nonetheless, you've got all the elements correct. I would still, you could, fill out some of the high end a little bit, but as a means of like making all the elements work together, that's a really strong idea. So you're on the right track. Cool. So speaking of track, I've got this dubstep conglomerate thing that I'm working on, and this is kind of what we're working on. All of this is most likely going to change. It's just placeholder for music. Oh, bro, this ain't bro stuff. Yeah, it's pretty aggressive. So I'm actually thinking like maybe I should alternate those rides. Alternate all what am I doing? Alternate rides. I can do that later though. So let's focus on the intro first. I want to focus on building up the musical part. I think that uh dubstep is a really unevoking genre of music. Did you come all the way in here just to say that? Instead of having progressions that move you. Okay. Go off, King. Go on. What sounds like a car starting in every song. Go on. Floor is yours. Go ahead. What else? Like, sound off, bro. Go ahead. You have my undivided attention. I'll wait. You know what they say about opinions. So here's the thing. It's like I totally understand if somebody's like, it's not my genre. I don't like it. Um, but this description provided zero context. It's just this. It's just this. It's just this. All dubstep is just this. If you were to replace that with anything that you were remotely interested in, then with your same description, you know what I'm saying? Like it it doesn't do you, it doesn't do anybody any favors. If you were like, man, you know, a lot of rhythm stuff that I've listened to um hasn't really been my thing. You know, we could have a conversation about that. But, you know, I personally don't care. I don't even fucking make dubstep. This is just something that I wanted to do because I had an idea for it. So I have zero like affiliation towards being a dubstep producer in general. Show me a mode of dubstep. So you're asking me to entertain your bias? Like, no. What the fuck? Like, yeah, let me try to appease your bias. That's like saying like it's like the worst argument in the world because it's like, "Oh, show me your music, bro." "Oh, that sucks. Your music sucks." Nice one. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, what are you doing here? You could say that about any genre. Okay, what's your favorite genre? Because if you can, I can. What's your favorite genre? I'm acting like, oh shit, you don't even know me, bro. Like, come on. I don't really have one. Okay, what's your favorite food? You're acting like dubstep is your religion. Don't be so offended. Look, you don't need to tell me how to feel. You also don't need to tell me how. You can point out my reaction, but this isn't a strong reaction. In fact, your this whole description is corny as fuck. If you want to talk about corny, imagine going into someone else making music and being like, "Yo, fucking dubstep sucks." Like, get out. Bye. I don't have time for this. I don't even make dubstep, and it's just, man, I don't have time for that kind of shit today. I'm not really sure if I want this to be like a pad or if. Let's try that. Let's try something that's more along the lines of a pad. Yeah, like we're in fucking 2025. Like, let's not. That kind of like conversation is like some teenage shit. Like, oh, don't, you're just butthurt, bro. Like, don't be mad. It's my opinion. Like, yeah, I think I'm more butthurt about the attitude than anything. It's just like, not today, not today. I'm hoping later I'll see Alckemy defends dubstep. That's probably what I should have said, but I'm not trying to pull that card. How dare you make dubstep? Yeah, I wouldn't even call this a typical dubstep track, but I don't really know what else to call this, to be honest. Does it ever go dark light? No, I don't have a black light. So I think something that I want to do on this is we're going to run this through Beam and see if we can get some interesting textures. Wow. Let's use some of this. Yeah, I know, right? Even though this is really quiet, it's pretty fucking sick. So let me see what I can get out of this. Nice. Where was that other harmony coming from? There was that like... Yeah, is that this? Is it this? That do. Yeah, like this is nice. Along with some of this other stuff. So we're gonna try to... I'm gonna keep the chord progression, but we're gonna try to build some ambience around this just because obviously like to me it sounds 10 times better and it sounds a lot more brooding now that we have these like washy textures over each other. Let's see if I can add that right here as well. How's everybody doing? Welcome. If you've never been here before. Man, like there's some really cool melodic stuff in here that I probably want to do for it. Yeah, that's really nice. I don't know. I'll find a way to blend this. I'm not really sure what I want to do yet, but... And then with this... I think maybe I'll change this into something that's more of a bell. And see how that affects the vibe. I'll just make one. Sorry. Does anybody know what that is? Take a guess. I'm gonna make this a little bit more complex. I think this one. Let's do some of this. We'll do this at 19. I think I already have some comb filters made, so we'll just pull one up. Cool. Kind of sounds almost organ-y. Speaking of organs, has anybody been playing Silksong? Oh my gosh, what a game. I kind of want this to be a little bit softer, but I'll mess with it here in a second. C4. And we're going to make this a little bit more peaky. With these resonances here. Maybe. Oh. Need to take the gray ones. Whoa. Yeah, holy shit. Silk Song has been fucking incredible. There's probably a lot of tracks. I'll say at least 2 that I want to do like a remix of in the near future. I'm kind of strapped for time lately with what I've got going on, but I don't know. It's from SpongeBob. We're going to send just a little bit of white noise into this as well. Like just a hair. That's not behaving in the way it's supposed to. That's a bill. Now it's muddy, but it's okay. Okay, so I think what I want to do right here is we're going to create another variation of this. Here. Here. Yeah, we're doing some dubstep stuff today. Dubstep. So we're going to kind of meander here. And let's do something a little bit different. Maybe there's something that I can play with automation-wise. kind of cool. Not really what I'm looking for though. Okay, hold on. Let me just start from this because it's kind of annoying me. That's a crazy fucking sound. That's fucking wild. Okay. Well. I really like this, but I still need the energy of the sub. So maybe what I can do is just take... Maybe I can just take the mids of this. That's just, that is really obnoxious, but it's so fucking cool. Okay, what happens if I automate a filter over this? We don't need that. Yeah, maybe like in a couple of places this could be cool. But maybe not on everyone. So like I can play with the automation here. Yeah, that's wild. Now what happens on this if I were to throw a comb filter over this with an LFO over this? Come on. There's this like, yeah, there's just this monstrous timbre to that I really like, but I don't necessarily know how I want to control that. Maybe I can use like an LFO or something to control, like, because I want motion with it. That's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna set that up a bit. It's funny because I'm the only halftime producer, and so my dubstep has a unique feel to it. You really make the genre your own. Dude, have you fucking heard Chi's dubstep? Like, go listen to Ohm from Chi. It's so good. And quarter note. And that's the thing that I don't like about this automation. Like, this is supposed to be on. Why is this not on? Yeah, maybe a little bit more like tearing like that could work in my favor. Yeah, dude, Hey, Danny, what's up, dude? Let's see. That's damn. I'm not gonna lie, we're like creeping into overproduced territory, but I don't care. I'm having fun. I made some really cool basses on this project. Shaper box 3 while making music. Overproduce it, then dial it back is the way. It's a way for sure. I'd probably rather just like not you know what I mean? Like less is more from the get-go. But at the same time, like I don't really know how to get this kind of energy without really hunkering down and like doing the overproduction thing. You know what I mean? Maybe we could do something kind of like this as well. Because I really just, I want this to be the fucking most evil thing I've ever made, you know? Like we need like a really hard snare right there. Lucky for me, I've got some. Or I could always make one, but... You're in here somewhere. Yeah. I mean, most intervals are like one note. Okay, I want to do some work on this because I feel like this just doesn't have enough of what I'm looking for yet. So one of my favorite things to do to try to like make a Reese not super basic bitch is create a formant filter, like a stagnant formant filter. Yeah. Yeah. We need some other kind of musical thing right here as well. So we could probably pull back from something like this and, oh, it's already there. Let me see if anything here is worth fucking up. Something I'm going to do with this is I'm probably going to send this through some distortion as well. Sorry, I'm going to use a convolution reverb and then I'm going to distort it. There we go. That was habit. I didn't even want to pull that up. Oh wow, this is actually working. Or is it? If I didn't give a license of this to Corey, I would sell this shit so fast. Fucking complete control. Native Instruments is just... Let me see if I have any cello. Man, they got so bad over the years. The CEO from their good old days left for ImageLine. What's offered is my wife. Corey, she's not my wife. But she is my partner. She uses Sibelius more than anything to write. This to be a little bit softer. And then we'll try to mask some of it with... No, I don't use much of Arturia stuff. I'm just going to use an electronic sounding thing. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But what I could do is that. Which sounds pretty cool, actually. Dude, Faceplant is like the end game of semi-modular sound design. The only thing with this is that because it has a tone, it's sticking to the tone, and you can't key track this. So we'll have to use an actual place or an actual like non. So I don't really mind if it's synthetic, but yeah, of course. It's interesting. Are you talking about the blue 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 blue? The fuck was that? Ding 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 ding. Oh, was that this? I'm sorry. This could be useful for other shit. I think I pulled this out for. Like, that's really cool. You could probably use that for something else, like with a bunch of reverb or something. Maybe here. Ian, what are you doing? It's kind of nice that I'm like have the options to just bounce around the track now and just like do little things here, little things there. It's kind of unfocused, but it's okay. What's up? Hope you're well. Hey, Cube, how are you? Was there something else in here that was doing that? Because it sounded like it was pitched up. No, I made a trap tune about a month ago. Very different than this, but just trying to make a bunch of shit. Ah, dude, I'm so sorry. That's terrible, man. This is still just a... It's still not what I want, but it's... The vibe is kind of close. Hey, Fudge. Oh. Okay. Let's put that there then. I really like this. It's just, it's not... I'm gonna take that little tail. We're gonna put that in here. Wait. Fuck, where did I just put that? Oh shit. Fuck. Where did I just put that? Red? Oh, this one. Okay. Thank you. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I want this to be like really aggressive. There we go. Where's green? This? Or this? I don't think I want to do that trick twice. So we need something here. Let me see if yeah, let's pull out Robert. A version of Robert. Oops. Do you mean like the trash can snare? Dude, I think there's like 6 months of sound design baked into this track. Actually, what I'm going to do is neuro bass rack, because this already has reverb built into it. That's the one I want. I think. We'll see. Just turn that off. Screen. Pitch. Pitch. Transpose. Can't believe it's almost Halloween, the Halloween season. Yeah. Okay. I fucked up. I messed up. Wait, is something going on in the server? Or what do you mean by server? Oh, Discord seems fine. Oh, live server, yeah. Bro. Dude, that second part is just... is probably one of my favorite just like bass riffs I've ever written. Even though it's so simple, like just the energy of it. Bro. It's like a break track. So I still think that this section needs more work. And I feel like if I can dial in what I want for the intro and what I want for the second section, then um, it's coming together. I might use like another. Ow. Fuck. What else had a bunch of reverb on it that I put in here? I don't even know if I want to add this little guy, like maybe what I'll do is just have a completely different contrasting sound in here. Okay, great. Where's green? Oh, there is sub under that. Oh. It sounds like Doctor Doom. It's a cool sound. It's probably not going to work, but... That's cool. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on that. What I'd rather do instead is just pull up a glitch rack and just see what I can get out of this whole thing. So I try to give myself like 3 minutes to find a sample that's usable, and rather than get caught up, if I can't find anything, I'm just like, try something else. Okay, all that stuff was cool. So we could probably do some like weird combination of this. With just like lots of weird fucking OTT shit. That sound though. That was crazy. I really like that. That's cool. So why don't we do like a mix of this where it's like this? That's fucking dope. Yeah, we just need to make this like way more aggressive. But wow, what a sound. So something that I could try to make this a little bit more like fucked up. Okay. Cool. Let's try that. Yeah, that was cool. This little like TQ. And I think that's what this track needs, is just more like little sounds like that that are like non-invasive. Like this little interaction, whatever that did. This, yeah, like this made that whole thing come together. kind of want to do like a different break right here, like maybe I'll try that. Boom, cut, boom. It happens faster. Like here. What happened to my kicks? Why is this? I want this to pitch fall like. God damn it. Okay, question. Too busy? Not busy enough? Like, just right? I don't actually think it's too busy in any places. I actually think that in some cases it needs a little bit more. Like, I really like some of the interactions that we've got here. It's pretty heavy. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't feel like it does. I feel like this has all of the energy that I want out of the track. I do think that it needs like this more of this stuff though. Yeah, like I'm still trying to figure the arrangement out as well, so but I think like the energy and the attitude is where exactly where I want it to be. There's several different basses in here, like lots of different sounds. Contrasting elements to where it's just subs sometimes. You know, I think that it's fine in most cases. Yeah, I really went in with the detail on this. Probably a bit much, but whatever. Rehash. Sure, let's try that. Oh, shit. Do, do, do. Yeah, it's coming along. I'm gonna set this to repitch mode and just see if we can get anything interesting out of this. Like that kind of shit. Nice. That kind of shit. That kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. But maybe this one, turn that down quite a bit. Okay, cool. So this is some stuff that we can maybe try to fit in some places. Maybe during the second development, so that way we've got a little bit more contrast in addition to what's going on. The other thing that I can do as well is maybe just I'm thinking about what I would want to do if I want to make it sizzle but not just white noise. What kind of distortion would that be? That would be wave shaping. Shaper table. Nice, sweetie. You being good? No, don't try to. No. Oh, that's working. Sorry. Anytime I stretch, she gets up and like is like trying to get on my lap, and I love it. But sometimes I'm like, hey, we need to control this. So I'm gonna turn this down a lot because I don't know how loud and how aggressive this is gonna make this. I'm glad I did that. Okay, so now we can pull out the detail of that and try to we don't really need this low end. But if I can kind of treat this what does it sound like without it? Yeah, I like the other stuff better. Or I like it with the distortion. Maybe I can back off of it just a little bit though. Okay. So we definitely don't want anything there. I think right here is when we pull off of that, so maybe not. So right there we can use that. Create a moment with that. I can pull off of this to create a stagger. Well, I try to get it right the first time, you know? So like you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like my mixing is my sound design for the most part. Crazy, bro. So probably right here, there would be a good opportunity for some other sounds. I don't want to use the same trick twice, but I'm wondering if I can create a different interaction with this. Or what if I put it here? That little interaction is so fucking cool though. I want it to be like boom, hit the boom, boom. There we go. Cool sound. It doesn't really fit though. Should probably save this. What else is in here? God damn, bro. Jesus. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it so far. It still needs a ton of work, but get down. Ugh. Just the energy of the break, you know, is kind of what I'm looking for. And I think that's like a really big component to what I'm trying to accomplish here. The thing is like I'm still, I don't know, like maybe I should just use the chord progression on the break right there and maybe have something that's more ambient before, Jersey. No. She's so needy. Because like I don't know, it's just the intro just isn't sitting well with me. Like the melodics of it are, but the sound design of it just it's still not coming together in the way that I want it to. I think that I want to use the melodics to create like a darker intro. And so I probably need to sit on that for a bit and be like, all right. There needs to be some melodics because otherwise I don't think that the do is going to make a lot of sense. But yeah, it's definitely heavy. Definitely heavy. Hi, baby. You good puppy? You being good? All right, I want to listen to this one more time, and then I'm going to take a quick break and give her a snack. And then actually, when I get back, what I'll do is I'm going to maybe try to fill this out a little bit more as well. Pull the drums back, introduce the melody, and just play the sub. Oh, these were some options that I could do for what to do after this. Okay. Let's play Alder. What? I think the melody is just moving too fast, and I think that's what's going on. the first section, it needs more high-end energy as well. Hey, Django. Yeah, I think like probably simplifying this melody, because like this do 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 do, like I think that is I like it, but that's one of the things that are not like connecting well, I think, with the intro and the direction that I want to go. So yeah, let's take a quick break. I'm gonna put some music on, and I need to use the restroom and give her a snack, but then I'll continue here in just a minute. So let's do Doomsday. Give me 1 second. I will be right back. You want a snack? Come on, let's get a snack. All right, welcome back. What's my dog doing? So yeah, maybe if I were to just take these off. I think these are different octaves. Because I think, like, the thing that I want to say is there, right? The... that's like the motif of the track, right? But I just don't think that the chords and, like, the sounds and stuff are doing it for me. Let me see what this sounds like if I pull off of most of this stuff. Oh, totally rhythm, bro. Like, the most bro step ever. That shit is so tight. I mean, I wouldn't mind making rhythm if I felt like it. There needs to be a texture over this right here. Just for the first, like... Do I even have texture? Texture. This could actually work. But why the fuck is this so long? There's a humming on the bottom of that. We don't want that in there. Well, I have an Oxy 1 and a Hapax, and between those, like, they're both... I've had the Oxy 1 since 2023, and I would say that's the best hardware purchase I've ever had. But in between the Hapax or the Oxy 1 Mark II, I'm a mouse and keyboard kind of person, unless if I'm doing sound design on here. But as far as like a MIDI controller, I don't have one that's like dedicated. I just make everything with the mouse, or yeah, mouse and keyboard is the way to go. What's going on here? Why am I in automation mode? You don't need all this other shit. Sounds like old school shit. What do you mean? This doesn't sound like modern production. I think that's the most offensive thing I've heard all day. I'm kidding. Yeah, like even all that other shit that's on top of this pulled back, this sounds a lot better to me. So if I were to like I think this is the way to go and just like beef up. I kind of like that, where it's just by itself. Maybe we can add like some swelling texture right there or something. Use a different bass. Alckemy BS. Hey, by the way, if anybody likes these sounds, alckemy.com. All these Alckemy basses and stuff, these are between Abyss and the Insidium pack. Each one is like $20. Holy shit. Interesting. That sound. Yoo-hoo. I love this. It needs something else to support it though. All right. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to copy this and bring it to a new track because we need more high end out of this. What a fucking sound though. I think she needs to go out. That's probably why she keeps trying to jump in my lap. Just a little. Just give me a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. I'm gonna take you out. Need like a spooky horror texture or something. Nope, never use those. Never use alibi effects. I get fucking copyrighted by them all the time.
Oh yeah. Break. Lose yourself. I would die for you. Finland. Not a we share. Yeah. Yeah, baby. You bring
So let's do this. Oh. I'm gonna go, ROM. Bounce. Reverse. Bounce. Let's try that vocal trick again that I was trying to put in here somewhere, but I just want like a... Give me 1 second. That's crazy. Right now, I'm just using, what's it called? Whatever the kilohertz thing is. The compactor. Usually I just do MIDI sidechaining to where I have my kick and my snare trigger a MIDI note and that ducks the sound. She's got to go to the bathroom. All right, I'm down to keep working on this, but I need to take her out because when she does this over and over again, that's her telling me that she needs to go. Do you all are you all down to hang out for a little bit longer while I take her out, or should I cut the stream? Sorry, to answer your question. Well, right now it's ring mod sidechaining. What I usually do is you don't want this. Sorry. I usually do MIDI note sidechaining to where it'll duck the volume of like a tool. But I've been messing with the compactor lately, but I found that it doesn't work for like every genre. And if anything, it's actually not good on sidechaining like percussion to drums. If you notice, I turned this off. Because it eats out, it cuts the sound in such a weird way that I don't like at all. But yeah, it depends. I think it just depends. Okay. Well, I can put another couple tracks on because I'm gonna walk her to make sure that she drops the hot one. But we can play a couple tracks. I know, baby. I know. I know. All right. It shouldn't be that long. Maybe like 5 to 7 minutes. But give me just a few to take her out. Watch this. Jersey. Wait, she's got a paw on my nuts. Hold on. Let me get that off. And let me get this away from her. Jersey, do you want to go do you want to go outside? You want to go outside? All right. I'm going to take her out. Give me just 1 sec. I'll be right back. Hey, what's up? Welcome back. Sorry, she had to go, so I'm glad I was right because I do really well with her not shitting in the house. um, I'm curious what played. So Tuvat, Misery Mire, Beat Sketch, Feeling is Mutual. Yeah, some trash beats, some throwaway stuff. Thanks. Yeah, some of them I've released, some of them I am not going to release, but yeah. Does anybody have any questions about the project so far? So maybe something we can do is pretty much just popped in. We will do another listen here in a second, but so we're gonna put a filter over this for now, and then I'll open it up back up later. But let's do like some big reverb. Then we need some kind of texture. Yeah, that's like perfect. Bitwig might surpass Ableton in the future if it hasn't already. I'm thinking that if they don't fix the technical debt from it being built on top of the live part, problems might start showing. They didn't build it on top of live. The original creators made Bitwig, but they're not using any code from live whatsoever, at least as far as I know. Man, some of these interactions on this track are so fucking sick. I don't think that this is a dance tune by any means, so it's not like a dancey dubstep track, but oh my god, I'm so happy with the way that some of this shit sounds. Yeah. It's coming along. Yeah, that's correct. It's the original developers of Ableton, but like I said, they're not using any of Ableton's code. What? Yeah, something still needs to go over. Maybe like a big delay crash or something like that. Yeah, that could probably work.
Woo.
Super muddy on like the musical parts, but I kind of like, I'm gonna fix it when it's time to fix it. But as of now, like it doesn't bother me. I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. I think this is a good like checkpoint. Does anybody else have anything, or like, is there anything about this track that stands out to you that's like, that doesn't really work, or you know, something that sticks out as like a sore thumb? I do still need to figure this out. Add texture and atmosphere into the intro. We did that. Very main section 1B. We did that. We did the opposite of this. We went into the chord progression with this, and so that's kind of tentative. Maybe I'll put an asterisk right there. Oh yeah, that's what we chose. We just pretty much did this. Introduce more IDM elements to the track. I'll probably do that. I'll probably do this next time. Or I don't even know. Like, it's weird because there's some stuff about this that are super glitchy in IDM, but it's not to the point where it's like, I feel like it's not overcooked. Which I really like that it's not overcooked. So I don't know if I'm going to add more stuff like that, but what else are we missing here? I think I'll keep, no, we added the bass variation. So we're pretty good on that. We still want to figure out what this is, and these are the options that we still have. We did the alternate rides on the main section too, which is this guy. And so now it's kind of a matter of like, all right, do I want to write a bridge? Do I want to write something after this? Do I want to change the narrative? Let me see how long this track is. So 248 to 543. 248. So it's about 3 minutes. Which one? The main snare or the big snare? The big boy snare, these guys? Not that. This stuff? Wait, where is it? Yeah, this stuff? Yeah. So these are samples from what I've made earlier. And I do have videos on this for the masterclass stuff, but the gist of it is that you take an electronic snare, so like a fundamental one, let's say like this, and you add a convolution layer on top of it. This is one way to do it anyways, but you add a convolution and then you add a metallic snare as your impulse, and then you distort the fuck out of the convolution part. Yeah, so something like this. And so with this, when you go here, see, it's already kind of doing the thing that we want it to. So when you add distortion to it, maybe some more reverb. And so depending on what kind of snare you pull into it, okay. Okay, that's a good example, right? I mean, if you send that through OTT, maybe we should just put this on the outside of this. So now, yeah, and then it just goes through the copious amounts of other stuff that I kind of pull through that. It's not sounding the way that I want it to, but it's okay. Give me 1 second while this decides what it wants to do. If we go here to explosive snare, there we go. Pretty much anything that you put into this is just going to blow up, but you do it at the beginning, right? So you've got a snare thing, and then you send that through this and through all this stuff, and so why is it doing that? Oh, because yeah. Okay. So if you put a snare through this, that's kind of how we get that. So if you have a bigger snare, right, that does that, then that's what you do. But the key concept of it is to just use a convolution layer that has a metallic sound on the top end, and then do like your snare processing on the outside of it. Yeah, so frequency shifting, distortion, EQ, transient control for the tail. Then there's the standard processing stuff. So yeah, I have more information on it in the master classes and stuff, but that's kind of a gist of it. For this particular track, though, I actually just faded in the tail of it. So, because most of it is just with the fundamental here, which I think is a great snare. We made that on this project on Saturday. And then I wanted some extra texture, but I didn't want to use the fundamental of this. So it doesn't sound bad. But it's a different fundamental than what the initial tuning of this was. So that's why I opted to not, to just keep this fundamental and then crossfade it. And then something that you can't tell, but is definitely there that's important is that there are other layers under here. So and this drum thing I made in Superior Drummer on Saturday. Like this was actually the first thing that went into the project. Yeah, man, that's a great like listening experience. I think the thing that I like about it is that I'm really interested to see like where it goes and what happens as I'm listening to the drop. You know what I mean? Like it's not so repetitive that it's hypnotic, but it also maintains the theme, I feel. Um and so I'm like, okay, yeah, like I'm still interested by the time it gets to the second section. I'm not bored. And I think that cutting it off right there is like the best place to stop the music because of how heavy it is, you know? Um so I'm really happy with that part. Like, do you all remember, if you've been a part of my channel, like how much I've struggled to make heavy music? And this year was a really big turning point for that. Like my penance and your virulence was like some of the testaments of like, okay, I can make shit as heavy as I want to. And so just trying to build on that and refine that. Unfortunately, like this is only track number 3 this year that's like on the same caliber as I would say of those of like where I'm wanting to, like how heavy I'm wanting to go, but I could do it. That's the thing. I could do it. It's a lot of fucking work, but it's definitely there. It's an interesting concept too though, you know, of like how much work you need to put into a sound that in order to make it have the energy that you want it to, you know what I mean? Like you can't just pull up a preset, and that's why I have a love-hate relationship with selling presets, is like in order to make the kind of music that in order to make a sound appear as aggressive as it does in my music, like you kind of need external shit. And I don't really feel like that's a thing that's like commonly understood within the community. And so it's hard, you know. But I think that was like one of my biggest pitfalls is like I had some presets for some from some people that I admired and I'm like, why doesn't it sound the same? Why doesn't it, you know what I mean? It's not hitting as hard, and it's because it's like you have to go through sometimes some extensive work to make it your own, but like the amount of processing that's just on this sub, like it's a lot. I mean it's not, but it is. You know what I mean? Like this is a very simple sound, but it's a pretty complicated patch for what it's supposed to be. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like if you look at the paper trail of how many decisions went into like just making this, like it's pretty fucking astounding if you think about it. You know what I mean? Like I when I was doing it, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just like, okay, the sound needs this, the sound needs this. But like in retrospect, I just kind of had this like, oh fuck moment where it's like, look at everything that like went into the track as a means of like creative decisions. And for that to come together, that's like, whoa. Holy fuck. It kind of gives me like a newfound appreciation for like music and stuff. And I think that's why like I give people that I look up to so much praise, because like just the sheer amount of thousands and thousands of decisions that go into like making something that's cohesive in a way that still sways somebody is pretty fucking wild. I guess the same is it's the same for any medium, right? Like if you do a painting, like every stroke is a decision that you commit to. It's but just thinking about that is like, man, what the fuck? Or we could just go on Splice and throw 3 loops together. You know, that would actually be a really fun, like a really fun challenge. Not Splice, but it's like you have 20 decisions to make a track. 20. 20 choices. The 20 choice track. That would actually be a really good lesson. Like in retrospect, even for a 30-day challenge, I don't know if I'm ever going to do a 30-day challenge again, unless if I like really need it. Or I'm really bored. I have so much to do, like project wise and all that. I don't know. If the community were more involved and I didn't have to like pull teeth to get people to do it, I maybe I would as well. But yeah, as of now, it's those were good times, but those times have passed. I'm glad that we did that though. You know, I think that it's good for people to see just what what it can do for somebody if you commit to it. But just doing it for the sake of doing it now is kind of like I don't know. Maybe if I like take up a new genre, you know, like we did the 30-day drum and bass thing, right? That was one that we did. That actually helped me out a lot. That now that I think about it, that was incredibly helpful with figuring out how to make better drum and bass. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll save that decision to be in my back pocket or something for when I don't know what to do. Does anybody else have any other questions about this track? What was the challenge? Also, is there anything even on this? New? An idea a day. Yeah. We did we did a 30-day challenge of a beat a day, and over the course of each week we had a different way of how you had to make the idea. So like week 1 was sampling, week 2 was audiating, week 3 was only using synths and MIDI, and then week 4 I think was like do whatever the fuck you want or something. Yeah, and then we did another one which was just straight up drum and bass. That was like a 30-day drum and bass challenge. And then fucking Zayaku came and just wiped us. And man, he just fucking John. Love you, John, if you're watching this. Yeah. And that's kind of the thing, right? Like the whole point, I think, of doing that stuff is to be like, what matters? When you're trying to write, sorry, what matters? And I think that from a musical standpoint, like that really puts things into perspective of how to like write stuff. And I think that anybody that's stuck, I do think that's a really good skill to do, even if it's a week, right? Or 2 weeks or a month or whatever, to just be like, yo, you need to you need to just do it like this. But I don't know, lately like my framework of where my head's been at for the most part, unless if I'm trying to do something like this, has just been to like fuck around with modular. I say modular, but fuck around with hardware or fuck around with like whatever and try to come up with like bullshit musical ideas and then pick one another time and make an idea out of that. And it's so interesting. I th- I think I've made a video on this. I probably have, but like the approach dictates so much of how the track is going to turn out. You know what I mean? And also like what kind of track you're going to make. For example, if I were to just like make if I started this track just making basses, um it this track wouldn't have come together. It was only because I had a call and response idea, and then I had these like little details of basses that were like some general thing about what I may or may not do that allowed me to kind of step into making the call and response the way that I wanted it to. But if I just like took random basses and tried to throw it together, it would have not turned out like this whatsoever. In the same sense, if I start with a melody or something that's like a sample, then I usually lock myself into like 808s and um, more simplified sound design and music writing because I'm just trying to make an idea solely based off of what that theme is. So like when it comes into making halftime and stuff or like this kind of music, I almost feel like the most success that I've had with making any of this stuff has been when I have a preconceived idea of what to do. Like I feel like neuro shit does not happen for me by chance. It has to be like 100% execution, and like you got to fucking focus, and you have to know how to fix anything that is not working for the track. And it has to serve the purpose of the idea that I have in my head. And I don't want to like put my creativity inside of a box, but I've noticed a trend, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. If you ever watch people like Frequent work, he is just like random sample, and then just comes up with something that's like whatever. You know what I mean? But for me, I have to I have to really sit down and have something very strong in my head in order for me to pull something off like this. And this reminds me of the stuff that I used to do in 2018, where I would write tracks like this, albeit way less aggressive, way less, production value. Like here, we're in a totally different headspace now. But yeah, I can't really like bullshit my way through like a heavy track. Interestingly. And when I say bullshit, I mean like improvise. There are times where the improvisation comes into play, but for the most part, it has to be when I start with a strong rhythmic motif to build the song around. Yeah. Like there's some stuff that Brian and I recorded yesterday that I'm definitely going to turn into some tracks, and send him some ideas and stuff. Like I have to do a little bit of scrolling, but some of the stuff that I did in this was fucking awesome, or that we did rather, because we were taking turns with all of the hardware. So like one person was making sounds, the other person was tweaking the sound. It was so fucking fun. Sorry, let me just. Sorry. Yeah. That's a fucking song, right? Like bump 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 bump. You know what I'm saying? Like it's already there. It's ready to go. I just have to pull the trigger. Um, hey, grape soda. What kind of hardware do I use for stuff like this? So every what you see on my desk is everything that I use. Um, I guess if you want to list, I have the Microcosm, Waldorf Iridium Core, Oxy One Mark II, Zoya, Digitact 2, Analog Heat Plus Effects, and then the Digitone 2. And I don't use everything all at once. I rotate my gear out, but I also have a Hapax. But that swaps in between the Oxy One and the sequencer stuff. But uh, it's not so much that it has to be hardware. It's more about the spirit of hardware, if that makes sense. It's more about it's I want to say that it's experimental sound design, but I think that it goes a little bit deeper than that. At least for me it does. Like a lot of times whenever I do stuff, I try to push it into intention. I'm trying to learn more about it recently. I've got a few videos on the Digitac too, and I actually have another one planned. Hold on guys, I have a phone call. Give me 1 second. Hey babe. Hey, what's up? Sorry, that was Corey. She's fine. Hello. Yeah. I have some videos on the Digitag too, but something that I can actually show you specifically that is coming up is this. So this is the Digitag 2 workflow for beat making, like what I'd make. And this is how I arrange my tracks. So kicks and snares, bank A, hats, bank B, perks, bank C, whatever. And then you just, it's going to be a whole fucking video on like how I actually would beat right. Probably a two-parter. So the first part would be um, the explanation, and then the second part would be probably me throwing something together without any talking, I think is what I want to do. But yeah, that's kind of where my head's at with this. But if you want to take a screenshot of this, you can and use it to your own advantage or whatever. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's just in the backlog of videos that I have to make. Okay. But yeah, so with the Digitag 2, like you can throw some wavetables in there or some single cycle samples and just play with the effects and then have a chain because you can run that into your DAW with what's it called? You can run it into your DAW with Overbridge, right? Or if you have any other hardware shit, you can do that. So it doesn't just have to be like, yo, I'm going to sequence drums. You can sequence like different effects and sounds and play with the looping and play with the sample locking patterns or the Euclidean sequencer. And I think for me, most of what I would probably try to fish out of the Digitact is less about the sounds themselves and more about interesting rhythms with conventional things, and then go and process that inside of the DAW. You know what I mean? But I mean, there's not really any rules to it. It's kind of more about, yeah, okay, that's a great example because the SP404 has like a shit ton of effects. And so you can do cool shit like, yeah, so you have the right idea. It's not like, you should also know though that the quality of the hardware is going to be of a different class than doing it inside of the box. It doesn't mean that it's going to be better or worse. It means that it's going to have a very different sound profile, and formulating that and manipulating it into a track that is usable for you is going to be kind of like your stepping stone. But yeah, like all this stuff is super distorted and whatever, but there's rhythmic pieces in here. There's other, just cool little like idea blips. Like, yeah, we've got a bunch of different versions of that. Yeah. Yeah, man, just little blips and shit. Yes. Yeah, I have. It's not for me. Like, that's fucking sick too. Dude, with the way things are going with the country over here, like that's part of the reason why I bought hardware. Everything that pretty much all of my disposable income goes into the channel, to be honest, which is a tax write-off. But yeah, like I don't know, man. Things right now are looking really uncertain for everybody, I would say. Like even for the channel, like I'm so lucky that I have a bit of savings and stuff, but like YouTube has like totally fucked over music producers the past 3 months. And if something doesn't change within, the next half year or so, I'm kind of like, oh fuck. Now what? And that's not, I don't even think that that's my fault. I think that it's just a matter of what the fuck is happening in the world and with music production and with YouTube and all that. Like, yeah, like almost every music producer I know that's a YouTuber their views and all that shit has completely tanked because there's some crazy algorithm switch up. Let me put it to you this way. When August 27th, when Bitwig, actually, no, I was having an issue before then. When Bitwig 6 beta dropped, that was probably the most views that I've ever had on my channel within a month. But I went from getting 1,000 subscribers a month to 170 since, I think since like May. I know my story doesn't add up because I'm a little bit confused of what's going on. I had a really big spike in August when Bitwig 6 came out, but for the last like 6 months, I want to say, just like, and like even looking at the views on my channel and stuff, like 200 views, 300 views, 400 views, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like what happened? And I don't know if it's because my channel is cooked. I don't think that it's my fault. I think that I'm still putting up good stuff that's valuable, but yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, what is going on here? So what I decided to do was I decided to buy the hardware setup stuff that I want, and then now everything is going into just like emergency savings and all that other stuff. Inflation is happening at an accelerated rate out here in the U.S., and so yeah, I do think that has something to do with it. But I don't know. Ideally, what I would like to do is just demonetize the video or demonetize the channel except for memberships, and then just hope that, you know, sample pack sales and preset sales and all that stuff can run the channel. But even sales have been just in a huge downward spiral. I think the last 3 months is the least amount of money I've made in the last 5 years. So I'm not trying to complain or say anything. It's more of a means of like, holy shit, there's a problem and I need to do something about it, you know? Or maybe I don't need to do something about it. Maybe I need to go back to teaching martial arts or something. But I don't want to. You know what I mean? I really don't want to. I love my job. And I work really hard at it. But, you know, I think it's important to remember that nobody owes you anything. And so when I come into thinking about products and stuff, I'm like, all right, how do I make a product that people are really going to love, that is within a price range that is acceptable to where I make a profit and they feel good about what they purchased? And so the whole YouTube game and shit is just kind of like, yeah, I've been getting more random low view videos and feed, and I think others are too, as I've been getting new followers fairly often lately. That's good. I'm glad. Like, I had an interview with Venus Theory and um on Saturday, and he did think that the producer tuber or something is oversaturated. I'm kind of 50-50 on it personally. I get where he's coming from, but I think that there's space for everybody. Why do my knees look so weird? Look at that. This fucking... What's up with my knee? Uh, but yeah, it's... I think that there's space for everybody, and I don't know, man. I don't really know what to do. Listen to it today. Thank you for watching that. I appreciate it. Cam is a great guy. I think that because he blew up, a lot of people started... I mean, I think if people know anything about Cam, they know that he's a good guy. But maybe just because the stature of his channel or something, you know, he's under a lot more scrutiny than I think he deserves. But fuck, man, give that guy a break. We didn't talk about the dark side of YouTube, to which it's not really my story to tell. Well, I guess it is, but the extremities of what he's dealt with are not my stories to tell. I can talk about my experiences with how shitty some people are on YouTube, but I get upset over some things like that still, but it passes. but I'm also not being berated every single day. Yeah, he's a fucking smart guy. And, you know, I think that the thing that I admire most about him is that he basically made that career change, you know? Like here I am still making fucking dubstep. And not that I'm trying to compare myself, but just as a means of like I didn't do that and he did, but he pivoted from like I'm going to make tutorials and stuff to holy shit, now I'm a fucking documentary guy and I still make music for a living and I still, you know what I'm saying? So like his success story and like what that looks like is such a interesting journey that I'm really glad that he had a space on this channel to be able to kind of talk about that stuff, because that's the thing that like you never hear how people make it. You know what I mean? It's never like I started from here and then you see this and you see this and you see this. It's always like here's where they like they just come out of nowhere, or they're nobody and then they're somebody overnight and whatever. And it's like he didn't do that. He everything that he had was a stepping stone. The same thing with my channel, but to a much less degree. Like I've been here every fucking day. You know what I mean? Like I didn't wake up and just get good at music. And if anything, like I still have so much more to do, but I think that's such a valuable thing that people don't realize. Like yeah, it's like the modern definition of a history book, except there's thousands and thousands of videos per creator, mind you, of where their journey kind of started versus like where they ended up and all that other stuff. And I think that's fucking sick. It has never been a better time to be a music producer than today as a hobbyist. As a hobbyist, I gotta say that. Professionally, fucking terrible, but as a hobbyist, like fuck, man, it's the world is yours. So yeah, I don't know, man. I need to just go take a bank loan for $50,000 and make a terrible decision to spend all of it on advertising in hopes that I can hire some people to hire a team to market my samples and presets, because I think that they're good enough to where people should be buying them. Um, I would never do that, by the way. Don't. And if you're thinking about doing that, don't do that. I wouldn't suggest it. I do kind of feel though that, especially in today's day and age, unless if you're actually making something that's so unique to somebody, to which my stuff still is unique to a certain range of people. That's why I still make sales from time to time, but it's growing. It's growing more niche than anything else. And so I don't know how we got on this conversation, but yeah, the whole presets and samples thing and that industry and how much like splices fuck that up and whatever is just kind of like weird, man. We're in a weird place. Or fucking AI generated sound to where in 10 years, you know, people aren't going to be able to tell the difference. That's like, oh shit. What is going on with music? Like what are we doing here? Dude, I do too. And not only my own tracks, but my own fucking videos and tutorials. Like thankfully I haven't gotten any strikes, but like I get flagged a lot, and every time I fucking crash out on being like, I wrote this shit. This is my shit. And sometimes they say, "Oh, the appeal was denied." And it's like, who the fuck gets to decide that? You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm not trying to yell in the mic, but I'm like, who the fuck gets to decide that? This is my shit. You see it happening. I made the fucking kick on the video. What do you mean it was denied? Like it's just like, oh man. Yeah, to which I would say As a hobbyist, never been a better time to make music. As somebody that's trying to be a professional, the amount of bullshit that is up against you from a day to day is ever increasing. And if you're not like cut out for it, then just enjoy making music. You know what I mean? Just enjoy it for what it is. Cause like, dude, if you get signed to a label, you're like, it's not even really a thing anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, people still get signed or whatever, but you get signed and you make $50, if that. I don't think that I've made a penny off of my label release from Discult. I haven't seen a single dollar. I'll tell you, yeah. So I'll tell you this much: the most money that I've made off of music has been through my subscription thing. Music library, at least I think one of them got used in a documentary. Yeah, dude, and it's fucking bullshit. Like the amount of work that you put into it, but it's also hard too because the sheer amount of music that's out there is like, you know, like do you all still just fucking listen to music for the sake of listening to music anymore? I do, but I found myself getting into like this cycle of like not doing that and then doing it and then not doing it, and I'm like, yo, I need to be fucking listening to shit. Um, and like kicking myself in the ass. It's like exercise for me. If I don't exercise, like I tend to wither. I think that's the best way to describe that. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just weird times. Weird times. You DJ for a living half the year. Okay, yeah. Well, that's dope. Yeah, I don't know. DJing is a whole different world that I know next to nothing about, so that's why you never hear me talk about DJing. I don't know. Maybe what I need to do is just start making some sample packs and pitch them to games or something, you know? It's okay, baby. I know. There's a dog outside and you want to kill it. I know. I'm sorry, you can't. Um, Maybe next year or maybe in December, I might take a month to learn Wise and Fmod just to just to know it. I'm a little bit scared about how that's going to look on the channel, but that could be a lot of fun. Is that something that any of you all would be interested in learning with me? Because I think you can get Fmod for free, right? Wow, we got a lot of viewers today. Thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate it. Well, and that's kind of a thing too, Django, is like I feel like I've known you for a while. I want to say at least 6 years, right? Like, cause I think you and I were doing the Twitch thing pre-COVID, and we kind of hung out in each other's stream quite a bit when I was still streaming on Twitch. But you have you have like this kind of range in what you can make with your music. I don't know. We're gonna figure that out. So I think it's free to use, but it looks like if you export something with it, then you have to. Yeah, I think it's free to use, but if you like do any kind of professional work or whatever, then you have to. Yeah, Cam wasn't kidding though. This really does look a lot like Ableton. I hope that he does some videos on this, but not sure what other DAWs do. Yeah, I don't know either. But I mean, this looks like stuff we know, like it's automation and EQs and shit. Seems. All right, guys, tomorrow we're making a track in F mod. I'm just kidding. Kind of. Yeah, but this is definitely what I'm gonna be going to sleep to for the next week or so. Alright, level snapshots. It looks like Ableton Windows XP version. I think it looks better. Like look at the res of the knobs and like the colors and stuff, you know? Like even with the gradient of the yellows and all that. Like this looks like a gray version of Bitwig to me. Fader, spatializer, flanger. Think people export stems from their DAW and import into programs like this? And it looks like there's like events or something right here to where if something happens, yeah, so timeline, progress, fade, escape. Maybe there's like these different tabs or something and you can set certain parameters on these to modulate in between what happens if the UI is adjustable. I'd say like consider Reaper if that's your thing. I think it looks fine. Logic tracks. And I'm sure that there's some kind of adaptation. This I never want to look at a mixer ever. That's like the most uninspiring thing to fucking mess with. Capture and simulate gameplay using the built-in profiler. Make edits in the audio and listen back to the updated session. Inspect frame-by-frame events, 3D positions, parameter values, and API calls. Track voice levels and CPU usage per event. Yeah, that's the only thing that I would kind of feel like lost about is like not having any context. So I'd be like, all right, what? Okay, cool. I know how to use the thing, but what do I fucking do with it? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what Cam said. He was like, yo, it's fucking Ableton. I'm like, all right. I mean, even with the device menu at the bottom, I'm like, okay, that works. Here's your tracking right here, right at the bottom. I'm scared of what the keyboard shortcuts are, but I'm pretty sure that you could probably remap those. Doppler cooldown, Doppler scale. Yeah, like there's a lot of interesting things that could be fun to play with in here. I just don't know what I would throw in this, you know? That would be like I'm going to start an empty project. You know what I'm saying? Like this doesn't really feel like the kind of thing that you would use for something like that. There's also programming. Oh, learning C++ or C sharp version of the API. So, yeah, scripting. I guess that's where the implementation comes in for games. I'm scared of coding. I just I don't want to say I'm dyslexic, but I think I'm dyslexic. I think I'm also number dyslexic. Like hard. I misread numbers all the time. I'm not bad at math, but I misread numbers a lot. Anyway. Well, don't you need to for like Python and all that shit? Listen, Ryan. Come here. I've already demoed Reaper on this channel. I've already done that. I'm not going back to Reaper ever. Reaper is like off the table for me. What is that? Just tuned in. This is Fmod for games. I was talking about giving this a shot and playing with that and messing with this sometime in the near future. Nope. Yeah, I don't know. I struggle with text in general with my eyesight, so I've avoided coding. That's kind of the same deal. But I mean, shit, if everybody and their mom is coding, maybe it's time to know some basic shit about coding. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce this out live in real time. And then if anybody has any questions after, I'll take them. But other than that, I don't really have anything else that I want to do today. But I appreciate you guys hanging with me. I had a lot of fun. No, fuck. Cancel. Unsolo. I do that all the time where I like bounce something and I accidentally have something soloed. It's not for me, but I admire it. Yeah, I respect it. But it's also, it's not for me. Why did this get so loud all of a sudden? Yeah, just rumbly distortion and phase cancellation all over the place. Love it. Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty happy with it. Um, it's very dirty, but it has all of the punch you in the face energy that I could probably put into a track. Um, so yeah. Anybody have any questions? I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I always appreciate you hanging out with me, by the way. Um, thank you. I Yeah, it's really nice that no matter when I decide to show up on stream, that I always have an audience and people to come in and hang out, even if nobody's talking. Every once in a while, I do something cool. But yeah, Friday, Friday I will not be here, and Saturday I will not be here. I'm going to LA for my instructor and I are going to a JKD seminar with our lineage school, and I'm going to be doing some sparring and stuff. And I haven't moved with people in a while, so we'll be doing some energy work and some sparring and all that. But I get to go visit with my instructor and hang out with him and punch each other in the face and stuff. Yeah, yeah. But we will be here Wednesday, and I'll be back Saturday night. So maybe what I'll do is a Sunday stream, if that seems fun. Um, because I need to work. You know what I mean? Or what I could do is I could stream Thursday. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that because I'll probably go to the gym tomorrow, but I'm not going to go Thursday. I'm going to take a break. Nice guy to watch, man. Pleasure. I do. Thanks to the stream. Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. So I'll probably let's plan on Thursday and Sunday. That seems like the move for me. That way I don't have to completely miss. But yeah, I'll take pictures and stuff, and you guys will see me get punched in the face and punch other people in the face. It's pretty fun. I know it doesn't look like it, but I have been teaching martial arts forever, doing martial arts for even longer. I don't have a habit of being up at 4 a.m. It's the flu. Oh, is that why? Yeah, I guess over in SA it's pretty late. Are you sick? It's springtime over there though, isn't it? I want to say 4:45 a.m. there. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I fever, cough. Damn, dude. I'm sorry to hear. That fucking blows. Have you and Dash ever met in person? Quick question. I do need to go soon, but have you and Dash ever met in person? I would like to see you two get together and do a project. Yeah, get well soon, brother. Get well soon, bro. Brother. Oh, really? He sold you his bongos? That's fucking awesome. Okay, so you all do know each other. Yeah, I still want Dash to get, or I want all of our like YouTube friends to get plugged in. He used to work at an instrument store. And Zane as well. Getting in touch with Zane and Cage. They're kind of recluse, but acquaintance really. Well, still, still dope. I was just curious because you guys are from the same town. All right, I'm gonna bounce. I'm gonna feed my dog. But much love, guys. We'll be back on Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. Have a great rest of your evening. I'll see you all later. And yeah, I'll catch you around. Bye, everybody. Hey, babe.